Greetings. My name is Dr. Erica Daniels, and I am an assistant professor of counseling at Evangel University within the online graduate counseling program. I'm a licensed professional school counselor and a nationally certified counselor. In this video, we will discuss the supervisee's role in supervision. Let's begin. The supervisee expectations as it relates to supervision are numerous and critical. There are several that I want to talk about today, and so we'll begin here with communication. Supervisees are to be able to effectively communicate with the supervisor on all issues. Establishing this level of communication is important from the very beginning of the supervisee relationship, even prior to beginning to work with clients or students. This level of communication should be open and free between the supervisor and the supervisee. Documentation. Supervisees should provide and complete all necessary documentation for internship and practicum experience. In order for field placement to occur, documentation must be submitted to the faculty supervisor or faculty field experience coordinator. The supervisee is responsible for this and to ensure appropriate communication with the supervisor and to facilitate the conversation and connection between the supervisor and the faculty supervisor. Ethical behavior. Supervisees should learn all ethical codes and standards and operate within them, including the American Counselor Association for Clinical Mental Health Counselors, and for school counselors, the American School Counselor Association Ethical Standards. They should be very familiar with them and know how to apply them in particular situations in their field experience. Feedback. The supervisee should receive and act upon feedback provided by the supervisor. It is important that the supervisee know that they are going to receive feedback from the supervisor and that they should make adjustments to their interactions, engagement, and behaviors based upon that feedback. Professionalism. Supervisees should demonstrate professional behavior at all times. Now, we know that professionalism can vary from individual to individual. So it is up to the supervisee to know what professional behavior and standards look like within the agency or within their site placement, whether it's in an agency, private practice, school, hospital, community, where have you. Professionalism standards should be addressed and the supervisee should follow and maintain all professional behavior within their site placement. Observation. Supervisees should engage in opportunities to observe and shadow the supervisor. With intentionality, the supervisee should be able to coordinate with their supervisor to be able to find opportunities to observe and shadow. It is both the supervisor and the supervisee's responsibility to create these opportunities of observation. Intentional preparation. The supervisee should engage in intentional preparation by learning the culture and climate of the placement. As mentioned in the previous module, the supervisor is also responsible for ensuring that there is an orientation that takes place for the supervisee. It is the supervisee's responsibility to make sure that they take in that information and adjust to the culture and climate of the placement of their field placement. Responsibility. It is the supervisee who should assume responsibility for their behavior at their placement site at all times. Alongside professionalism, the supervisees should be responsible for their actions. If there are actions that take place with the supervisee that are undesired, there should be appropriate communication and conversation between the supervisee and the supervisor, and if necessary, the faculty supervisor as well. Initiative. The supervisee should take initiative on tasks and particularly those that they have had experience in. Supervisees should ensure that they are engaging in new learning as well as learning to enhance skills that they already have. They should ask questions appropriately and engage in opportunities to demonstrate their skill. New learning. As already mentioned, supervisees should intentionally seek out opportunities for new learning where they can practice newly learned skills and continue to develop skills that they have already mastered. Address conflict. A supervisee should know the process for addressing conflict with their supervisor or their placement site. In other words, should the supervisee have any challenges, they should approach their supervisor first. If they cannot reconcile that, or if there are larger concerns within the placement site, then there should be a conversation between the supervisee, the site supervisor, as well as the faculty supervisor at the university. Lastly, confidentiality. Supervisees should practice confidentiality at all times per the ethical codes. As mentioned earlier, both ACA and the American School Counselor Association ethical codes and standards should govern the supervisees' expectations related to confidentiality. This confidentiality covers both the supervisee supervisor relationship as well as the supervisee and their client or student relationship. They should know at any time when they are able to breach confidentiality and when they should not breach confidentiality.